The Blueprint of Behavior. Part 2, Episode C. The Submerged Route, the Weight of Unspoken Words. Mirat Village lies within a flood zone under the shade of the surrounding water boundaries. During the rainy season, the draining water creates a very strong tide within the 5 canals. No one can leave Mirat without navigating around the village. I am trying to describe those 5 canals. As I mentioned before, the village runs long from north to south. The road leads to Bandaghara, which the local people call the Bandaghara River Port. The road begins at the bank of the Atrai River. Although it is a submersible road, it serves as the connection to the district town. Crossing Mirat Village, the road splits into 2 branches. A small branch leads away to the nearest village in the northern flood zone, named Shikarpur. After passing Mirat, the main road continues toward the district town, where it branches again to connect with Horispur. To travel from Mirat Village toward the Bandaghara River Port, one must cross 2 canals, Saparatal Adao and Hatkati Canal. These 2 canals are not large, but they carry a rapid tide as water drains from the west and northwest watersheds, specifically Gor Daura, Tagara Bil, and Dao. If one travels from Mirat toward the district town, there is another small canal that drains into Mosar Bil. The other branch of the road leads to Horispur. This Horispur branch is busier than the district town road because it leads to the police station. The district town road runs directly toward the northeast, while the Horispur road heads toward the southeast corner, forming a triangle. Mofis felt sad yet excited as he prepared for admission to high school after passing his Class 5 examinations. He felt he had never seen a school as good as his current one. Although the villagers faced many problems, Mofis found life enjoyable. For a long time, the villagers had observed that it was impossible to sit on the high or short benches without first cleaning off the bad droppings. The children were constant victims of the leaky roof, struggling to keep their books safe from the rain. Even a simple rain felt like cats and dogs inside the classroom. Mofis had visited Bandaghara High School 3 times with his elder brother, M.D. Shajad. The west side of the school was a brick building, while the east side was made of corrugated tin sheets. These buildings ran long from south to north, with a fantastic 53-foot gap between them serving as a playground. There were no boundaries on the north side, allowing anyone sitting there to enjoy the fresh air from the Atrai River. The corrugated sheet structure had 3 rooms. The northernmost room was for Class 6, the next for Class 7, and the third for Class 8. The brick building started from the south side and contained 3 rooms in an L pattern: a teacher's common room, an office, and a girls' common room. Additionally, there was a room for Class 10 and a final northern room for Class 9. Mofis examined every room with his brother, as he was to be admitted there the following month. He made sure to observe and understand everything. The river port is established on the east side of the school, and north side on the bank of the river. It is a beautiful port where many boats arrive with farming products. One can easily tell what each boat is carrying. Big boats carry bales of jute, medium-sized boats carry layers of paddy, sesame, mustard seeds, and bags of wheat, while small boats bring people, chickens, ducks, green banana and goats from nearby villages. Some people whose houses are nearby arrive on foot. During the weekly bazaar at the Bandaghara River Port, farmers and villagers from 15 to 20 surrounding villages arrive with their produce. The school playground is transformed into selling zones for chickens, ducks, and occasionally goats and cows. Each product has its own separate zone: a paddy zone for paddy sellers, a jute zone for jute sellers, and a vegetable zone for vegetable sellers. Those who bring fish sit together in a designated fishing zone. This organized system of buying and selling zones is fantastic for both sellers and buyers, making it easy to find what they need. After selling their crops, farmers can easily buy and carry home their own essential supplies. The playground is quite large. In the north side, Mofis saw a team advertising a brand called Mayabiri. 3 girls were dancing and playing drums, surrounded by a large crowd of people standing in a circle. Mofis observed the audience. They were all wearing traditional dress, lungis and shirts or t-shirts. The audience was highly interested in the team and the Mayabiri product. As the lively team energetically promoted their products through 4 surrounding microphones, a smart announcer addressed the crowd. The onlookers enjoyed the show and received 5 free pieces of Maya Biri to try. They observed the product carefully. It was made of white paper, roughly 6 centimeters long. Though the contents were hidden, it was easy to see that tobacco was pushed into the paper tubes and wrapped at both ends. The bottom was marked with a red and yellow Maya Biri sticker. Each packet contained 25 pieces. Maya Biri is a type of cigarette. It was specifically made for people harvesting paddy and jute in the fields, who found it difficult to carry a traditional hookah to their work. Mofis noticed that most of the audience had never seen Maya Biri before. They usually smoked hookah or occasionally leaf-wrapped cigarettes made from banyan leaves. Because Maya Biri was totally strange to them, it grew their interest immensely. As I mentioned, Mirat Village has no high school. The nearest schools are established on the bank of the Atrai River in Bandeghara and on the east side of Moserbil. Crossing Moserbil is very difficult, making Bandeghara, which is 4 kilometers from Mirat, the easier option. Even so, one must cross 2 small but rapid canals to reach the Atrai River. In each of these canals, a boatman operates a small wooden boat to provide transport. Villagers rely on these boats for 5 to 6 months of the year. After the paddy harvest at the end of the Bengali month of Joish though, the boatmen collect paddy from every house in Mirat. They discuss the number of people they transported, including those carrying agricultural equipment, buying necessities at the weekly bazaar, or visiting relatives. The amount of paddy demanded by these boatmen, locally called gadal, is proportional to that service. After crossing these 2 canals, one reaches the Atrai River, which has a much stronger current. There, large boats called kosha are used. The crossing point is very close to Bandeghara High School and the village bazaar. The bazaar is held twice weekly, on Fridays and Mondays. Known as the Bandeghara River Port, it is the most important business center in the area. Mofis sat on the balcony of their sitting room, lost in thought. It was the winter season, the sun was rising clearly, but a slow eastern wind brought a biting cold to the air.
Maybe you have read the book, The Blueprint of Behavior, all episodes of Part 1 and Part 2. Now, we are going to share a few words before the full publishing of Episode C, The Submerged Route, The Weight of Unspoken Words.
Are you thinking this story is impressed by the pulse of the mythical? It is not. It is the very pulse of real life, not a single moment, but a journey in layers, with each part expressing a deeper truth than the last.
It will not end at just this moment. It will rise, step by step, through unseen levels of practical life experience and meaning. So, you will need to wait, don't worry, not in noiselessness, but in quiet expectation, for the next attractive episode is already on its way, carrying something more different than what has yet to be understood.
Special note.
If you ever find the thorns of emotional thought wrapping around you, do not mistake them for your weakness. Keep in mind that emotional protection is not a sign of cowardice, it is a sign that something within you has learned to survive.
Just as with the submerged route, it is not only that something exists, it is harder than hard for emotional thought. Much like the weight of unspoken words, loads, and gravity, your mind is always building submerged routes, reasons to protect what is most valuable inside of your emotions and thoughts.
Do you think these defenses are your enemy? Maybe not. They were trying to build your history because they were your golden past, and they are your present because they are your silent guardians. Do you not remember? Growth begins when you gently allow those roots to break through every emotional layer, steadily uncovering them, not by forcing them, but by softly understanding.
When you learn to recognize why those thorns are wrapping you into an emotional barricade, then you must begin to transform them, otherwise you cannot. And I give a guarantee or a 5-year warranty here. One day you will reach a place where you no longer need to hide behind protection.
Because your strength will no longer come from defense, but will come slowly from awareness, because everyone knows that awareness is harder than a shield.
Campaigning by Mirat Creative Agencies.